It's all right.
911, where's your emergency?
Yeah, so you know this guy who is flamboyant and happy and always joking around, and then to kind of understand behind the scenes there was so much more going on that he honestly never let us in. I think for me it took me a moment to fully understand and assimilate what was actually happening when I start hearing. I get a phone call in the middle of the night and we're trying to understand, are you sure? Like, is this the person? Is this the same person that I know?
I don't think it was just necessarily just a dark time. I think anybody goes through a dark time. What makes a difference between a mentally healthy person and a mentally sick person is that how the dark time would really affect you and how much would it lead to. I lost passion in the sport of swimming. I just didn't see the point of doing this anymore. I was not making money. And then I remember, like, after it, I'm like, okay, I don't feel good, but I don't think I could get help. And then it started the ideation of like, okay, there's just a lot of voices in my head. I started hearing you're not loved or people should not love you. The only way to shut the voices down is just shut the whole brain down. I did my research, unfortunately, about the lethal dosage of some meds over the counter. I picked up 2 bottles of them. Told my friends I'm not going out with them because I have a friend coming over, and then I stayed home. And I remember just sitting in my room for like a good 30 minutes just crying, not finding a reason why I shouldn't do what I'm about to do. And then I did it. Thankfully it did not work out, and I'm here. The last thing I saw in front of me was 5 police officers, 2 EMS professionals, and everybody's like, okay, he's gotta go to the seizure, he stopped breathing.
You know, when you get to the hospital and you're trying to understand what's going on, and it still seems surreal to then talk to the doctors and understand that this is serious.
The first thing I remember waking up, I opened my eyes, Arthur's there, smiling, and then I started crying, because the first thought in my head, I'm like, I made it. Because my whole idea during that night was just how the heck do I undo this?
My mindset was just like, I'm here for the long haul. That's what we do here, right? We take care of our own, and for me it was the right thing to do, and I really wanted to be there and support him and hug him and, you know, help him.
My relationship with Haridi was a one-time visit early on in his freshman year, and then I didn't hear from him again until he had his incident. I was one of the first people in the hospital to see him. As the counselor, you always want to go in a little level-headed, but when you get emotional, it can be very difficult. You're dealing with somebody's son, somebody's brother, and then you're dealing with a whole coaching staff that looks at that child like their own. So those really crisis, tense times builds relationships really quick.
I was transferred from that hospital to a mental health hospital. Thank God Dr. Kate came to visit me one day.
You know, Tuesday afternoon, walk up and knock on the door and they're like, you can't come in. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come in. I just have to find the right person. The CEO came down and got me, and it was one of the most strong embraces that I've had from a student athlete.
My mind was really set on like, how do I get out of this hospital and go back to practice so I can compete at NCAAs. And then she made me realize that this is the part where I have to look out for my human side before my swimmer side. Otherwise, there will never be a swimmer side to me again.
I understood if you walked away from the sport, I would have understood. And those are the conversations that we had, right? Is swimming part of the solution, or is swimming part of the problem? And I think he had to work through that a little bit to figure out.
I went through the entire year. I think I almost tried every single medication that could help with depression. And there was like ups and downs. I remember going into the coach's office the fall semester like 6 times. Every single time it's like, here's my caps and goggles, I'm done. Arthur would be like, no, dude, the story's not over. You cannot do this. Like, this team needs you, and you need this team. Come on, like, let's finish the job.
I just felt, knowing what I know about him, that being around the sport, being around our environment, being around our coaches, our staff, our team, right, our family, if you will, is better for him.
I cut all distractions from early January all the way to ACCs. I remember just praying the night before 50 free. I'm like, God, if there's anything I really want in my life, is this 50 free.
And they're off. Here we go. We are going to see some good men swimming right here as they come into this turn. See, get underneath that wall of water. Look what is happening in lane 7.
And Chris Giuliano in lane 5 as well, also making a charge, but out in lane 7, Elaraby going for it, and it is going to be Elaraby from Louisville getting the win. Ramadan second in lane number 4, but springing the surprise. Abdelrahman Elaraby, the junior from Louisville, from lane 7, winning the men's 50-yard free.
The moment I touched the wall and I saw myself winning and everybody's just screaming and laughing and clapping, all of that, that was my moment to do my job.
If it means anything for anybody, it's okay to fall, it's okay to fail, it's okay to lose the battle, just don't lose the war.
We're going to keep up in the ante. Every year we're going to pump another initiative out. Every year we're going to do something that nobody else has done. That's cutting edge. I think that that's what we're all after, is kind of be a step ahead of everybody else. And we want the athletic department to be proud.
The way we've elevated our mental health support program, really, with the resources and the amount of really unbelievably qualified folks that are here to support our student athletes. For me as a coach and as somebody who has, you know, my own kids in the program, I'm proud. I'm proud to be associated with U of L Athletics. I'm proud to represent and work for this administration. It was a problem. It is a problem. We're not shying away from it. We're doing everything we can to provide the resources and the education piece to our student athletes.
I want to help save those people that are just either don't think they have a voice, or they are suffering in silence, or they don't think there is help. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You cannot see the light throughout the tunnel, but it's at the end of it. You just gotta make it through the end of the tunnel. Just keep going.